Right, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another diecast restoration video. Oh, I hope you're all keeping well and looking forward to today's video. Now this one, it went quite well actually. It makes a change for me. The only hold up was for some stickers from Model Supplies, which I ended up not using anyway because I was too impatient to wait for them. So I made my own, and then when I was just about finished, the stickers turned up from Model Supplies, but I preferred the ones I made. I think they're more vibrant, they look better, so I used those. So anyway, before we start, I'd just like to say thank you to all my subscribers, and thank you everybody for all your comments, and thank you for sticking with me, and I'm glad you enjoy my videos. Right, so let's get on with it. And today's video, it's a Dinky Toys one, and it's a Dinky number 450, and that's the Bedford TK Castrol box van. And as you know, I like my TKs, so this one I've had kicking around in a box for well over a year, probably about 18 months if not more. And I kept looking at it and thinking I must do that one. I must get on with it, and then I thought, oh well, no, another day. So anyway, the day's finally come. I've done it, and as I say, it turned out quite well. The paint colour might be slightly lighter than the original, but it's not far off, and it looks all right. So you can judge for yourselves. So as I always say, please sit back, relax, enjoy watching the video, see how I got on with this one. Right, okay, then let's take a closer look at this one. It's in pretty poor condition. We're missing the roller door, the front side and the back. You don't seem to be able to get those, so I have got an idea for doing that. Whether it will work or not, I don't know, but I shall try. As you can see, the cab's all wobbly, and that's the reason why. The chassis is all broken. There's a big piece of it missing there. This is the same chassis as the dust cart, which is a good thing. So what somebody's done here, they've put a screw right through with a nut on the end on the top of the cab, which looks naff, but I suppose it had served the purpose to carry on playing with it. Same at the back, they put a screw through there with a nut inside, which again has worked enough, for the model to be able to be played with, which I'm assuming is the reason why that was done like that. So it is in pretty bad shape. The window unit's got a crack in it. I have got one on order, but when I ordered it, I forgot that I had this, which is perfect for me because it's the right chassis. It's the same chassis, so that's going to be alright to just swap the chassis over. The cab, it's the same if you like, but this one's got the little indicators on each side there, and this one hasn't. So I shall still use this cab. I mean, either way there's going to be a hole in the roof, or there's going to be two holes in the roof for this one, for this piece that, you know, I suppose you put all the bits and pieces up there. They did put spare bins up there, I think, in the model, but yeah, so instead of having two holes there, I'm just going to have the one there, so either way I'm going to have to patch them. So that's not a problem. So I think, you know, with these two we should be able to do this one nice. I have ordered the decals, I think. Did I order them? Can't remember now. But no, I don't think I did order decals for this, because they're not decals, they're stickers. They are stickers. So I don't know if I did. I can't remember if I did actually order them, because I thought about this one here as a water slide, and I'm not sure if the white will show up over the green, so I think I did order them. But at the same time I could have made these stickers quite easily on the computer. But what I will do when I get them all, I'll scan them, and then I'll keep them on file for another time, in case I need to do another one, make some more. Okay then, so next step, I guess we'll start dismantling this and undo all these screws. Okay, I'll just get my tools and we'll come back to it. Right, okay, here we go. I'll just use the pliers on the nut. Easy enough to undo. That's it, the nut's off. The washer. Pull the screw out. That's not made a lot of difference because we've still got this rivet here, but looks like somebody's picked away at that anyway, so that might come off. We're going to have to get this pin out the back as well, I forgot about that, so I'll file that down. Okay, let's undo this one anyway. I think the nut inside is loose. I don't know if I need the pliers or not. Yeah, I do need the pliers. My screwdriver's a bit big for that one. It's a little bit big. Okay. It's too tight for the fingers, but it's not that tight with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver. That's it. There's the washer. Okay. So that's the chassis back part nearly off. Yeah, this I'll just file that. I think that's the thin end. This end, I haven't got my glasses on so I can't see. I'm not so sure actually. Might be this end. I'm just trying a new camera angle, but it's too close almost for my old camera. Okay, I'm just going to get my glasses and then we'll see which end I need to file. Right. Move my little file. Here it is. So let's see. Well, I tell you, there's not a lot of difference between the two. Not a lot of difference. Not a lot of difference. So right, I'm going to use this, put this into the file. It's smooth side. I will file this piece because it's a bit more misshapen, so I'll do this side. Just marking it a little bit, but it's not too bad. See, we got a bit of an old bend on there as well. Needs a little bit more yet. I'll keep filing that off camera and then I'll come back to it. Right, I think that's enough filed. Try and push it through a little bit. There you are, that's that off. Okay, so then that just lifts off. So we'll put that to one side because we will be probably using the wheels. We'll take the best wheels off of either model. Right, so this rivet here is going to need to be drilled. Okay, drilled that out, so I'm not sure how it comes apart, this one now, I can't remember. Yeah, I like that, that's it. So that's just lifts out obviously because the chassis is broken. This might be good for code 3 stuff. The tyres as well, they're soft but they're all cracked, look, so they're no good. They're no good. That one's okay. That one's okay, so. And these wheels are good. They're plastic, that's the only thing. It's a shame they're plastic, but there you are. Right, so that's this cab parted from there. I'm going to have to file that piece, as you can see, and we've got to be very careful because there's not much of a post on these Bedford ones. Okay, so the interior, it's a bit naff, it's got a hole in it, as you can see. That's meant to have a hole there, I think, or is it? I'm not sure. Yeah, probably, I don't know. Is that meant to have a hole in there? Probably not. Yeah. No, it's not. That's where they drill that through for the blasted to put the bloody screw through. So that's shit. This is, like I say, cracked, so that's not much good. So we'll use the interior out the other one. So that's the cab. Like I say, I'll have to file that, drill that out for the rivet, and basically that's the cab ready for putting in the caustic soda. Right, so what we got on this backing, I'll just tip the metal filings out because I didn't use my tin lid this time. I'll just get my pliers and straighten this a bit. Yeah, not too bad now. That's about right. That's about right. That's better. Right, now we can lift this out. I hope. Yeah. Spiders and all. Right. It'll have to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. Now what I have got in mind for my roller doors, don't know if it's going to work, hang on, I'll have to go and get them because I've left them in the kitchen, is these ties in the plastic bags. Whilst they're all joined together, if I cut them to the right width, see they got wires through the middle, and I reckon that won't be a bad resemblance of a roller door, corrugated door. So what I'll do, I'll cut them to the right size, and then I'll stick them on a piece of you know, the food packaging, the see-through stuff. If I stick them to a piece of this stuff, then I reckon that'll be just about right for them to go, you know, bendy enough to go underneath. But I've got to make sure that they don't catch, that's the only thing. So I'm hoping they're going to be thin enough even when they're stuck to this that they, you know, go underneath the roof part when the doors are open. Should do. It should do, I think. Should be enough room there, I hope. Well, we're going to find out anyway. Okay, so this is ready for the caustic, and this will go in the ultrasonic cleaner. So I'll chuck that in now. I'll dismantle the other one off camera, and then yeah, I'll chuck all the interior bits and that into the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, so yeah, I'll come back to you at the caustic soda bath. Okay, here it goes, in with the boiling water. I'll have to put another piece of wood underneath there, I think. Not quite deep enough, my water. Okay, in with the caustic. Let's hope it gets it off. Okay. Nothing much happening yet, a little bit coming off. It's coming. Slowly. Yeah, it's just starting to peel off the cab. Okay, same as usual. We'll leave it in there a few more minutes longer, and then we'll come back to it when it's all wire wheeled, wire brushed, ready for priming and on the bench. So see you over at the bench. Right, okay, we're all cleaned up. The caustic sort of did its job. I had to put some of it in some of the cab in the paint stripper afterwards, just to get the last bits off, because I couldn't get it all off, and this piece as well. The black came off fine. Okay, so we've patched the roof. A bit of what do they call it? I've forgotten now. I'm looking for the box in my drawer. Milliput, but I think it's getting on its last legs. Never mind. Lilliput I got there. Milliput, Lilliput. That's a blinking fairy lights, isn't it? Yeah. So I think it's starting to get on its last legs now. There's only a little bit left in my box. So. Drilled the rivet post out. I've done it 2mm, I think it was. 2mm? No. 2.5. I drilled at 2.5. I started with a 1 and I did a 1.5. I started with a 1, I did a 2, and then I done a 2.5. It just goes in very tight. As you can see on the back of the cab, it started to push that out, so I was pushing my luck a little bit. Anyway, you won't see that because it'll be behind the van part. The lights, I've drilled them out. I'm putting jeweled headlights because the ones on this model, they were really sticking out a lot, and they were sticking out far too much. You know, on a real TK it wouldn't have, the lights don't stick out that much, so they'll look better with the jeweled headlights, and you all know I like my jeweled headlights. Bumper has had a lot of pitting in the casting. I've filed it and I've sanded it, trying to get it as smooth as I can. I don't want to go any more. The same with this front bit of the cab. It's obviously it been dropped all the time on there, and that was all dented and chipped, and you know, it looked horrible. So I filed it and I sanded it, and I think I've kept it more or less the right shape. It wasn't easy, so I hope that'll be alright. So now, yeah, we're all ready for putting the primer on. Before I do that, I'm going to put some masking tape each side of this door, and probably on the top, because the sliding doors are going to rub on that, and I don't want, you know, if I paint it, they're going to get, well, they're going to scrape the paint probably, and it'll mess up the doors, it'll mess up in there. So I'll do the same thing with the back door. So I'll just put masking tape over that and along there. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then go out and put the primer on this, and then I'll come back to you. Right, okay, I've made a door for the back, and it does slide up and down. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it does look, it does resemble one of them, or one of those roller doors. And it, you know, it doesn't work too bad. Now, I'll show you what I've done. This plastic idea, it didn't work. Okay, so the card that I make my boxes on, this is an old one, I've cut a piece off the side. Well, I cut a whole length off the side so that I could still use this box, because I always end up making two boxes. when I make them, just in case I balls one up, because it's easy to balls them up when you're cutting it out. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I've cut a piece of that card off, which is that, which is the right width. I think it's, what's it, an inch, did I say an inch and a quarter, I think, or 3 centimetres. I think it's an inch and a quarter it was. Yeah, more than 3 centimetres, so it was an inch and a quarter width. All I had to do was measure it. Yeah, so I cut that to an inch and a quarter. Then what I did, I got this is only half of it now, but when you get some of these plastic bags for putting sandwiches in and that, you get those ties, you break them off. So I got a whole sheet of those. I then put glue, super glue, all over that piece of card, but put it on something. I put it on the back of the card. I cut it off so you don't get glue over everything. Then I stuck the sheet, I overlapped it, and I stuck the sheet of these ties onto the card. Once that was dry, I cut up each side with the scissors. That's all you need to do. And then I cut the length I needed. You know, I just put it on the model and then I cut the length I needed. So this, I'm going to use this piece. I'll have to cut it again, but I'll use this piece to make the side door. Right, so then what I did, I left a bit on this one. I left a bit that I could fold over. I can't do it on the next one, but I put some double-sided tape and I folded it over and stuck it. And then I just put a piece of sellotape across the top of this one, because it was like that where I cut it. So just a little tiny piece of sellotape, just overlapping a little bit. You won't see that because that's up inside the vehicle. So that'll stop the edge unravelling if it hooks in anything. So next what I did, I got one of these. I got a whole bag of them, but they're, you know, when you're doing tiling, so you can get the tiles the right distance for putting the grout in. So I then cut it across there. I don't know if you can see. I cut one across there, and I cut the top off, even a bit sticking out, which I then ended up with this, like a T-piece. Now this piece here is going to be the little handle that goes on the outside, so you can see what I've done here with this. I've cut a little square hole, make sure you get it in the middle, through the whole lot with my craft knife. It's not that easy actually, because it doesn't cut great, you know, but anyway. That's what I've done now. I've cut the hole and then I pushed that through from the back, and I've glued that piece. I've glued the white piece, put the glue across there, and I've glued it in place. Well, not across the bottom, but across I've put the glue on the actual card, and then as I pushed it through the hole, it'll glue on these spits, and that'll help to keep the bottom of the door square or rigid. Otherwise, when you go to pull the, you know, if you just put a little piece of plastic through, when you go to pull it, because it's only cardboard, it'll start to flex and then you'll mess it up. So that'll hold that rigid. So that's all I've done, and it worked quite well. You can see all I did when I was cutting the length, I just put it to the stops on the top, and I just saw how much was bent over, which was enough for when the doors open. It's just right. Now also what I did, because this is pretty rigid, I started to bend it. so I did that with it to try and get it sort of curvy. See, it's a bit more flexible like that, and then that'll help it to go around, because if you leave it flat then it won't, it's going to hook when you first put it in. So that's basically all I've done, and you know, that's that's the only thing I can think of to do when you can't get these parts. So I'm not going to paint that. I'm going to leave it that colour. Well, that's pretty much the colour it should have been anyway, but if you start painting on that with the flexing and the rubbing, I think the paint's going to flake off, so best to just leave it as it is, and it looks pretty close to what it's supposed to be. Okay, so that's how I've done that. I'm going to go and make the other one now, and then we'll see how that turns out. Well, yes, I've got carried away again, and I forgot to show you the shots with the primer on, or the clip with the primer on. So that's it. I've put the primer and then I've put the colour coat on. So this is the colour I've done it. It's not quite 100% right, not far off though. The other one I've got, the other green metallic I've got, is slightly too dark, so this is a little bit on the light side, but it's not bad. It'll pass, I think. And then I've done the chassis black. I haven't lacquered it. I've only got gloss black. I didn't have matte black. I think it's supposed to be matte black, but anyway, this one's going to be gloss. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of detailing now of these lights. I haven't made the decals myself this time. I have ordered them. I think I told you already. So they haven't come yet, so I'm waiting on that to come. But anyway, I'm going to, like I say, carry on, do the detailing, get everything else ready, and then when they come I'll put them on and then I'll lacquer everything. Okay, right, that's the jeweled headlights in. Now when I put the black wash in the grill, I left a bit there. You can see the difference, and that's because, well, all the TKs that I drove when I was in haulage, well, worked for a haulage contractor, there was always a plate in front of the steering box on the TKs. It was like a blanking plate. I suppose it gave the steering box a bit of protection from the weather. So that's why I've done that. Okay, so I think probably we'll put it together now. I haven't got the stickers yet. I'm still waiting for model supplies for them to come, which is a bit frustrating. It's taking a while. So I'll put it together, and then when the stickers come and the decals, we'll put them on afterwards when it's all back together. Okay. Right, here we go. I think I've got all the bits I need. Now, I'm going to start by putting this interior with the sliding doors into the back part. Now I've put a little bit of Vaseline on the runners, and inside there I've taken the masking tape off that I put in. I'll put a little bit of Vaseline up each side. Hopefully that will make the doors slide a bit better. I don't know, rightly or wrongly, I've done it anyway. So we'll see what happens. Now this is going to be a bit of a fiddle to get this in. Move the camera a little bit. Right. Because yeah, because I've put these little handle pieces on, it's hard to get them in. Now I did mark, yeah, that's the side one. But the trouble is they like to fall off when you're trying to put them in. So we're going to see if we can get this in. Now I am going to have to push that in a little bit to get it past, and the same the back one. Oh. Trouble is that one's gone up too far now, or gone down too far. There. Let's see. That one's come out of the runner. I'm not doing very well. I'm not doing very well. Definitely not the easiest of things to get in. Sorry, I keep going off camera. Oop. Stay. My stand's a little bit floppy. Right. Okay, I've pushed that right in. It's got a bit of a bow on it now because I've pushed it. Right. Right, well I'm hoping that's alright. So what do we do next? We've got to put the window unit in the cab. So that's all been dipped, that's come out quite nice and clean. It just drops in. Interior. It's okay. Here's a mark on there. I don't know whether I didn't get that off properly or whether that I've just scratched that. I don't know. It's not too bad anyway. Now I would imagine that this back part will have to go on first. I think. I hope. So that goes on there and then the pin pushes through. What I'm going to do, I'm probably going to glue that pin in because I need to push him through a little bit more. Okay. That's tight to push through, which is good. So that's on there. Now there's a little tongue, there's a groove there in the front of the cab which fits in there and the interior falls out. Happy days. Okay, so might have to do it this way. Okay, that should hold everything together then. So we're going to put a bit of super glue, and I haven't got the lid off first. So I'm using my teeth again. and I think the nozzle's blocked, which is about right, just because I'm sitting here holding this. So I need something to open it up. Hang on, I'm going to have to let that go. What can I stick in there now? Oh, I need a bit of wire. I'll come back to you when I've unblocked it. Okay, change of plan. We're going with the Corgi Bob glue stick. It should do. And we've got a great big rivet. Hang on, here's my tweezers. Great big long rivet. I managed to drill quite fine to this cab, surprisingly. Yeah. Come on tweezers. Oh, I don't know why I'm struggling with this. It's not as if it's a little tiny rivet either. Right. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this pin at the back here. This should just hold it in place. Hold the pin from coming out. I don't think it will come out anyway, but it should hold it. Okay, so we're going to leave that dry a bit and then we'll come back to it. Right, I think it's stuck okay. So let's turn it over and have a look. Seems to be okay. The doors work. Yeah, the doors work. So I'm pleased with that. They don't look too bad. The homemade doors. No, quite pleased with that. Okay, so we're going to have to wait now for the old decals to come. So it's looking good so far. Okay, we'll come back to it when the decals come. Right, I've made my own decals in the end because this is about 3 weeks on and I don't think Model Supplies has even posted my order because I checked in my bank and the money hasn't come out for the parts I've ordered, so I'm not waiting anymore. Hopefully I'll get away with these. I know there should be water slide decals, but this is vinyl sticker paper that I've done them on, and I've done a green background. I took a photo of the truck and tried to use the colour in the background on this when I printed them. It's going to be a little bit darker, I think, than what the truck colour is, but there you are, that's the way it goes. Now I'm not going to leave the black outline there. It was just roughly for me to size it when I did them. I just made the box on 3D paints and then put Castrol in, so I'm going to cut inside the black and it should be the right size. Famous last words. Okay, so I've printed a few again. I've got an A4 page in case I do a balls up. I've got a few spare like that. Right, I've cut these out. I put this front one on already because it's easier to do off camera with that one, because it was a really awkward one to do. Right, so if I put him on his side, this one, just make sure this is going to fit on this side. Hang on, let's move this out of the way. And I think I've done a bit of a balls up, haven't I? Because I forgot about the side door. I forgot about the blasted side door, didn't I? Oh, what a clown. So I'm going to have to go and make some more stickers, aren't I? Well, I'm going to put that one on anyway. Right, okay, I'm going to have to go and make some more, but meantime I shall put this on. I think I might cut another one actually of those, because that one's a bit close to the, I've cut it a bit close to the edges. So this one I'm trying to separate the blasted, get the backing paper off it. But because I've cut them, it kind of presses the edges of the backing paper onto the actual sticker paper. Oop. Here we go. Right. Use the old tweezers, I suppose. Now there's a little line there, right there, that I need to put this against. I think I can get it there. Trouble is I can't see what I'm doing here. A bit on the piss there. Oh, for goodness sake. I can't see because I need my glasses to see, and the bloody camera is in the way. Right, that's it. He's on. The green is a bit too dark, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, I'm not too bothered about it, to be honest. Still doesn't look bad. Right, we'll put one on this side. I made them a little bit too short, but they'll be alright. Okay, so which one do I use? I think this one's slightly better. I've got it slightly more in the middle. Yeah, so I'll use this one. Again, I'll try and get the backing paper off. So if I sort of, hang on, try and line it up with the bottom ridge. It's not easy because these stickers, once they stick well. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go and, well, I've got some more of these here, so I'm going to cut them out. I'll try and cut a better one than that one over there because I haven't quite got enough green left on. So what I've been using is this. I bought this about 30 years ago to cut paper, and I'd forgotten I had it, and I just suddenly thought, well, it's a good idea. It does a better cut. But it's hard. It's a bit hit and miss. See, I didn't quite get that. I've got a bit of the white left, and I don't want that. Don't know if I can trim it a little bit more without taking too much off, but this is what happens. No, not quite. And then you can't slide it underneath. It's not easy. That's not bad. Now I've got to get the other side right. So I'm going to mess around with this off camera, and then I'll stick those on, and then I'll have to go and make some others for the other side, and I'll get all that ready. So next time you see it, it'll be done. Like, we'll have all the stickers on. Okay. Right, I made these yesterday, so this is the side that I want, the small side. I printed a couple of other bigger ones because I keep them on the file in my computer now once I've done them, so that I can print more if I need them. Now I got home from work and there was a little box from Model Supplies, so there you are. Now looking at them, they're more yellow than the ones I've made, the actual white part. Whether it's because of the backing paper, I don't know, but they're not so vibrant as the ones I've made. All right, you can see a bit of difference. These letters are slightly thicker than the ones I've done, but on the whole, you know, I think, well, these are the ones I printed yesterday. Should have been those. Mine are a little bit bigger. The water slide decals for the side, but I'm going to leave the ones that I did, and then the one that goes on the front. So I still think I prefer mine, so I'm not going to use these, not this time anyway, maybe later, at a later date for something, or if I do another one, but I'll probably go with mine again. So I do prefer mine. So I'm going to go with those. So I'm going to cut this one out and then we'll stick it on. Right, okay, that's it then. Job done. Got that sticker on that side. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with this model restoration. I think it's turned out quite nice. So there you go. Got the old jewelled headlights, indicators, side lights, the badge, Bedford badge. Done with Molotov. I painted it black. Yeah, homemade stickers, homemade roller doors which work well. I'm really pleased. So, yep, I'm happy with that. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and if you have enjoyed this one, please come back and join me again next time for another die-cast restoration. So until then, please take care, look after yourselves, and See you in the next video. Cheerio for now. Bye bye. Abato.